Western Europe and Byzantium. Circa 500 to 1000 CE. Chronology. 410 CE Roman army abandons Britain. 476 CE the general Odovacar deposes last Western Roman emperor. 496 CE the Frankish king Clovis converts to Christianity. 500 CE Anglo-Saxons gradually take over Britain. 533 CE Byzantine Empire conquers the Vandal kingdom in North Africa. 535 to 554 CE Byzantine Empire conquers the Ostrogothic kingdom in Italy. 560s CE Lombard invasions of Italy begin. 580 CE the Franks cease keeping tax registers. 597 CE Christian missionaries dispatched from Rome arrive in Britain. 610 to 641 CE Heraclius is Byzantine emperor. 636 CE Arab Muslims defeat the Byzantine army at the Battle of Yarmouk. 670 CE Byzantine Empire begins to lose control of the Balkans to Avars, Bulgars, and Slavs. 674 to 678 CE Arabs lay siege to Constantinople but are unsuccessful. 711 CE Muslims from North Africa conquer Spain, end of the Visigothic kingdom. 717 to 718 CE Arabs lay siege to Constantinople but are unsuccessful. 717 CE Leo III becomes Byzantine emperor. Under his rule, the iconoclast controversy begins. 732 CE King Charles Martel of the Franks defeats a Muslim invasion of the kingdom at the Battle of Tours. 751 CE the Byzantine city of Ravenna falls to the Lombards. Pepin the Short of the Franks deposes the last Merovingian king and becomes king of the Franks. King Pepin will later conquer central Italy and donate it to the Pope. 750 CE Duke of Naples ceases to acknowledge the authority of the Byzantine emperor. 770 CE effective control of the city of Rome passes from Byzantium to the papacy. 780 to 840 CE the Carolingian Renaissance. 782 CE Charlemagne crushes a Saxon rebellion. 787 CE Second Council of Nicaea authorizes the use of icons in worship. 793 CE Viking raids begin. 800 CE Charlemagne crowned Roman emperor by Pope Leo III. 830 CE Abbasid Caliph Al-Mamun founds the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. 843 CE in the Treaty of Verdun, Charlemagne's three sons, Lothar, Louis, and Charles the Bald, divide his empire among themselves. 843 CE Final resolution of the iconoclast controversy under Empress Theodora. 846 CE Muslim raiders from Aghlabid North Africa sack the city of Rome. 843 to 900 CE Macedonian Renaissance. Mid-800s, CE Cyril and Methodius preach Christianity to the Slavic peoples. 864 CE Conversion of the Bulgars to Christianity. 867 CE Basil I murders the reigning Byzantine emperor and seizes control of the empire. 871 to 899 CE Alfred the Great is King of England. He defeats Norse raiders and creates a consolidated kingdom. 899 CE Defeated by the Pecheneg, the Magyars begin moving into Central Europe. 955 CE Otto the Great, King of East Francia, defeats the Magyars in battle. 976 to 1025 CE Basil II is Byzantine Emperor. 988 CE Vladimir, Grand Prince of Kiev, converts to Christianity. Introduction. It was Christmas Day in Rome in the year 800 CE. The cavernous interior of St. Peter's Church smelled faintly of incense. Marble columns lined the open space of the nave, which was packed with the people of Rome. At the eastern end of the church, which was the most prestigious in Western Europe, King Charles of the Franks knelt before the Pope. A tall man when standing, the Frankish king had an imposing presence even on his knees. He wore the dress of a Roman patrician, a tunic of multicolored silk, embroidered trousers, and a richly embroidered cloak clasped with a golden brooch at his shoulder. As King Charles knelt, the Pope placed a golden crown, set with pearls and precious stones of blue, green, and red, on the king's head. He stood to his full height of 6 feet. And the people gathered in the church cried out, "Hail Charles, Emperor of Rome!" The inside of the church filled with cheers. For the first time in 3 centuries, the city of Rome had an emperor. Outside of the church, the city of Rome itself told a different story. The great circuit of walls built in the 3rd century by the Emperor Aurelian still stood as a mighty bulwark against attackers. Much of the land within those walls, however, lay empty. Although churches of all sorts could be found throughout the city, pigs, goats, and other livestock roamed through the open fields and streets of a city, retaining only the faintest echo of its earlier dominance of the whole of the Mediterranean world. Where once the Roman Forum had been a bustling market, filled with merchants from as far away as India, now the crumbling columns of long-abandoned temples looked out over a broad, grassy field where shepherds grazed their flocks. The fountains that had once given drinking water to millions of inhabitants now went unused and choked with weeds. The once great baths that had echoed with the lively conversation of thousands of bathers stood only as tumbled-down piles of stone that served as quarries for the men and women who looked to repair their modest homes. The Colosseum, the great amphitheater that had rung with the cries of Rome's bloodthirsty mobs, was now honeycombed with houses built into the tunnels that had once admitted crowds to the games in the arena. And yet within this city of ruins, a new Rome sprouted from the ruins of the old. Just outside the city walls and across the Tiber River, St. Peter's Basilica rose as the symbol of Peter, Prince of the Apostles. The golden-domed Pantheon still stood, now a church of the triune God rather than a temple of the gods of the old world. And, indeed, all across Western Europe, a new order had arisen on the wreck of the Roman state. Although this new order in many ways shared the universal ideals of Rome, its claims were even grander, for it rested upon the foundations of the Christian faith, which claimed the allegiance of all people. How this post-Roman world had come about is the subject to which we shall turn. Ever since the 15th century, historians of Europe have referred to the period between the fall of the Western Roman Empire and the Italian Renaissance, which took place in the 15th and 16th centuries, as the Middle Ages. The TRM has problems, but it is still useful because it demonstrates that Europe was undergoing a transitional period. It stood between, in the middle of those times that we call modern, after 1500 CE, and what we call the ancient world, up to around 500 CE. This Middle Age would see a new culture grow up that combined elements of Germanic culture, Christianity, and remnants of Rome. It is to the political remnants of Rome that we first turn.